Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 26, 2024. For public participation, to submit a comment in writing, please visit www.dalycity.org/agendas and complete the public comment form. To speak at the meeting in person, please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the chambers and submit to a staff member as early in the meeting as possible. Moving on to call to order. I mess this part up all the time. All right, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. If everyone could rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Commissioner Montanez,
Present.
Commissioner Luna, Vice Chair Miranda, Commissioner Anoy, Chair Ortiz.
Present. And approval of the agenda for this evening. Can I get a motion to approve?
I motion to approve the agenda for today.
Can I get a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve also?
Motion.
And I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Cool. And we'll move on. Any public comment for this evening?
There is not tonight.
Okay, we can move on to the director's report. Denise?
Thank you very much. So tonight we have 3 presentations. The first one is through the Administrative Assistant 3, Edgardo Bolaños, who'll be giving you an overview of the Build a Dream Scholarship Program and policy.
All right. Good evening, Commission. So at the, what meeting was it? The October 12th meeting, council meeting, council approved the update to the Build a Dream Scholarship Program. And we're just going to highlight a few things. So before you have 2 versions. The one that is a little bit more bold, a little bit bigger, is the newer current version that will be taking place in 2025. So a few things that you'll notice right away: the legibility, and it gives the statement of what the Build a Dream Scholarship Program is all about. The program is a way for us as a city, through donations, to provide financial assistance to the youth of Daly City, so youth and teens, and the active adults and seniors that are 50 years and older, enabling them to participate in exercise, education, culture, art programs offered by the Department of Recreation Services. We are changing the way we are doing the program in itself, and we are also making sure that one of the primary goals of all our programs, everything that we do, is to drive scholarships and to get donations to provide scholarships for more youth. So some of the things you'll notice as far as the policy overview, we've kind of cleaned up the language to make it a lot more clear of what the scholarship is and how you're eligible. So on the new version, you'll see right away who's eligible. So this is for Daly City residents. You must be either between the ages of newborn to 17 years old or 50 years and older. So adults that are 18 to 49 do not qualify for this program. You may ask why. A couple of years back, council said that their priority for subsidy was to focus on the youth and active adults, and so we're sticking with that for now. Applicants will now, instead of in the past, they've had to apply for a scholarship every time they wanted to get one, and this would only cover 50% of a registration fee once a quarter. So essentially, once a season, someone, if they wanted to participate in a program and wanted to apply for the scholarship, they'd have to do that 4 times a year, up to 4 times. This time, they only have to apply 1 time per calendar year. Instead of giving them a scholarship with a discounted rate off of what the fees are, we're going to be giving them a little bit more flexibility and giving them a fixed number per year. So the participant that qualified will get a certain amount based off of what we have in our accounts, so that they have the choice of what they want to participate in. We are broadening what is now eligible. In the past, we had to skimp down, and there's only certain things that the scholarship would be eligible for to participate in. Because we had other fees, we had to cover contractor fees, things like that. We couldn't risk contractors not getting paid because we wanted to offer a scholarship. Now, this model, we are going to be able to offer all our programs, everything that we do for those 0 to 17 years and those that are 50 and plus. As long as they qualify, they can participate in any of our programs. And just a little bit more of the details. Again, it's once a year. They get the amount in the beginning. Once they apply, they'll get a letter or an email notifying that they were awarded a scholarship, and we will give them the next steps of how they can register for our programs and participate in our events and utilize that scholarship. Anything that is not used at the end of the calendar year will be recouped and put back into the fund. So we've set it up in a way so that this fund is going to keep kind of, there's always going to be something. After the pandemic hit, we got hit hard where we had a good amount of scholarships. We ended up, there was a lot of need. We got to the point where we had less than $1,000 in this fund. To date, just this year, we've gotten over $35,000 in scholarships and donations. We've been able to give out $2,000 to participants. We've been fortunate that most people that were asking for certain scholarships were for after-school program, and now we have ELOT funding that helps us. So we are looking forward to 2025 when we can enact the new policy, the new program, and help as many people in Daly City as we can. Because we have a lot of great programming, and sometimes, fees and the costs of things are prohibitive. We hope that this allows for more of our families to participate. So the only other thing I can show you is the application on the back, just so you can take a look. It's a lot cleaner, a lot simpler. It allows for people to kind of fill it out quickly. We do have some optional demographics. We weren't taking that into account just to kind of get an idea of who we're serving, to get a better idea that make sure that we are serving all populations. So this will help us kind of target populations that may not be using our services. So any questions as far as what I've said? I have a few more other things I want to share. All right. So with this, like I said, this year we've been able to we've gotten in $35,000. Part of it was like we had talked about credits that haven't been used. We've been able to recoup and put them into the donation. But we have all of our staff through the Department of Recreation Services has done what they can to help with this. So we have started new programming, had pop-ups, different events with the only goal to raise funds for the scholarship program. So back, I think in March, I threw this crazy number of like we wanted to hit $100,000. From almost going from 0 to 100,000 in a year is crazy. But I said it and I'm sticking with it. We're at 35, almost 40. I'll have better numbers soon. But now we're doing all kinds of stuff and putting ourselves in a position to help more people by getting more donations. So one of the biggest things we have going on that's going to start this Saturday, and we'll talk about in a little bit, is we have our Build a Dream holiday tree lot. So we are selling trees. We're not selling them actually. You get a tree, a holiday tree for your donation. So for $100, you can pick out a 5 to 6 foot tree, live noble firs. They're real trees. Or for $120, you can get a 6 foot to 7 foot tree. For an additional $10, staff will put a stand and a bowl on it. You can pre-order them. You come and pick them up at Westlake Park. You'll load your own tree, but that's one way of, and all the money that goes in is actually going to go straight into the fund. So we have 200 trees. So we have 200 total trees. So we're hoping that that's going to bring around $20,000 right into our donation fund. If anyone, we always ask with our registration when people are registering, online, in person, there's an ability to donate when you're paying your registration fees. People have been very generous when they do that. They're already paying fees for a program, but they do add a little bit. Every little bit helps. So if you're out there registering for the next program in the winter, consider donating. If you just want to donate, you can. There's many ways you can donate through our website. So if you go to dalycity.org/iplay, there's a donation tab. If you come to our office, we'll take donations. If you want to drop off a check at our main office, feel free. We will take it. Again, it all goes into the donation fund for the scholarship program. And then after the holidays are over, once we come back in January, we are doing our fundraising spaghetti feed. Again, all proceeds will go to the scholarship fund. So us as a staff have done a remarkable job because we know how important our programs are to the youth, and that's why we're here, why we do what we do. We just want to give that ability to as many people to participate in those, especially those that don't think they can afford it. So, yeah, that's, yeah. And then again, anyone out there who wants to donate, whether you're an individual, a business, anything like that, there are sponsorship opportunities for the spaghetti feed. Or again, if you just want to donate, I mean, I've been lucky enough that this is part of my job now. A couple of years ago, we asked for a grant from the county. We were able to get $50,000 to give for scholarships for the summer. We were able to help 100 families with $50,000. So we hope that every year we're able to help more people. So it's just one of those things that, but it takes a village. So I need every little helps. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Question. You mentioned that there was funding for after-school programming now that I forget what you said.
It's ELOP funds.
Can you elaborate on that just a little bit? And then explain how that affects the scholarship fund? Because it sounds like there was a large growth in the fund.
Yes, so ELOP stands for Extended Learning Opportunity Program. All right, got that. So that is funding that school districts can get from the state, similar to ACES. There's application, and there's so they get an amount of money they get to spend on their students at schools. So we offer after-school programs currently at 6 schools. 6 schools, but there's multiple ages, so there's multiple programs. So after the pandemic, when we came back and school started back up and people are trying to get back to work, they need childcare after school. So that fund, a lot of it went to after school programming, people applying for their scholarship to be applied towards their fees. Unfortunately for those fees, they're a little higher because it is you're signing up for a month or a trimester. So we're talking about one individual might get, let's say $300 because that's the program they chose. So essentially it would drain our account a lot faster. So, but we are currently serving over, I want to say over 500, about 500 ELOP students. So you can imagine if all those 500, all those would qualify for this scholarship as well. You can imagine if we had 500 students applying for, we wouldn't be able to offer as much, or we wouldn't be able to offer it. So that's why I say it's going to help, because now we can focus on the other stuff that we provide. Again, it's a need, but we want to also have the opportunity of participants and active adults and seniors, if they want to participate in a class that they may not be able to afford, they can sign up to. So.
I think the one last question I want to ask about the application is just from your experience, because we've done scholarship programs pretty much all the time. Has there been any or when you turn somebody away because certain requirements aren't all there, like what does that process look like? And like what is it typically just like a residency issue, or like
So for the most part, we've never really turned anyone away. Um, so yeah, residency, obviously. I mean, this is we're Daly City. We're trying to help our residents. Um, the Sometimes the paperwork, they may not have the paperwork to show that they are in need. So in the past, so you can see, so there's in the current one, there's 4 different. So we have CalWorks, Medi-Cal, General Assistant Letter, or WIC. Those are the county uses these as ways. If you qualify for this program, it means you're under a certain threshold. So we don't have to go and research and dive into someone's life. We can use that as a guide to say that, right? So sometimes there may be someone that doesn't have any of that, because they're just applying, because scholarships are like that. If no one applies and there's extra money, yeah, they'll give it to whoever's there. When we had that grant for San Mateo County, there was people that didn't qualify, didn't hit the thresholds, but because we were granted so much money, we were able to go back and say, hey, I can't give you the amount that so and so got, but here's something. But this program is meant for those who need, and because this fund is revolving, whatever we don't use we keep it. So we're always going to have a certain amount. We're going to come up with. It all depends. If we hit a goal of 100,000, it gives a lot more flexibility. But we always want to have something in there. So like we're not planning on using $100,000 in 1 year. We want to make sure we're building it up so we can sustain it. And that's the biggest thing. And that'll be a challenge for us, because if something else were to happen, we want to make sure that we can still provide in the long run.
And the reason why I ask is just want to ensure like accessibility for the entire community, and just reassure like, yeah, there's certain things of the scholarship that's changing, but overall, like it's community first. There's a way to figure it out, and it would be like our responsibility to just make sure that fund is flowing. So then when like we don't run into this issue at all, so.
Just have one question. So I know that the amount of the fund varies throughout the year. How do you decide, like how much to distribute in that year?
So that's a very good question that I keep asking myself and haven't figured. No, sorry. So because this is going to be the first year we're going to do it. So what we did when I had it was the same question. You don't know how many people are going to apply throughout the year. What I did when we had that grant was essentially gave out an initial amount to, let's say, because there's certain deadlines. So we set certain deadlines for that grant application process. If you got in before that, you got a certain amount guaranteed, up to a certain amount. So you're not just going to get $300 because you're going to get $300, but you got up to a certain amount. So, and then as I saw that there was, it slowed down, there was no more, we have to use this money, I was able to go back and reimburse people. So essentially they got money back. We were still whole because I applied the funds to it. So the city still got the cost of the program, or at least the subsidized cost that a registrant would pay. So I hope that I'm able to play with it like that. It's also looking at what the need is. So in looking at how much we brought in, we've only $2,000, like I said. That was only like 33 applications. So it just really depends on where we're at with the total amount, and strategically, you don't want to spend more than half, more than a third, just to make sure you have something for the following years. And as money comes in, then we can say, hey, like more money came in, and we granted you $300 in February. Here's another 200 in the summer. So the hope is that we're gonna have everyone's gonna get a fair shake. There will be cutoffs where we're not gonna give someone what we gave someone in the beginning of the year at the end of the year because we have less programming. We want this to last through the year to help people. So there's a lot of things that we're gonna work with, but again, to your point, one is to make it fair, make it accessible. Everything's on this form, so doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, as long as you're from Daly City and you qualify, like there's something for you. So
Hi, everyone. So I'm curious, is there a time, like, is there a month or season or even events that you see a flux,
yeah.
just an influx of funds coming in?
So we have not. There is no necessarily a season right now. We're trying to make that happen as we provide all these things. So right now, if the schedules are going to change year to year, but if the holiday tree light goes great, then maybe December is when we're going to count. If we continue to do our fundraiser feeds in January, then it's probably going to be toward the end of the year. It's probably the best time, just because then we know what we have at the end of the year and what we're going to start with for the next year when the applications are due. But the hope is that at all our special events, that people are aware that the city as a whole is pushing it, and it's just not us. Because again, we're running the programs, but they're our kids, our active adults. They're the cities, right? So the hope is that everyone's helping push this fund. So. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Ricardo. Oh, yeah. Please.
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions. Has the conversation ever come up where, with the ages, like if someone who's 18 years old but in high school, like has that situation ever come up, and has there been like a conversation on how to approach that?
So in that case, because the programming, so very few times that since I've been doing this has an 18-year-old applied. Usually it's the parent applying for the individual, right? So if there was a case where they are in high school, they are part, and they turn, we'd probably make the exception. It's just really circumstance. In the past too, the programs that were eligible, we didn't really have much for teens during the time that something that would be eligible. So they wouldn't necessarily qualify. But I know we did during our VLP program, we did offer scholarships for that program, but I don't recall if any of them were like 17 or on the verge of being 18 or 18. Yeah.
And is there like any ideas on how, like, as commissioners, we can use our our privileges and like our positions as like to advocate or like amplify for like the scholarship and to get more funding?
I think the biggest thing is just to let people know what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Right.
And if the opportunities for grants or something that we could, use funds to let us know, like, you start to do the legwork, we'll cross the finish line kind of deal. If you have contacts in the business world or any agency that wants to help sponsor something or wants to put on something, let us know so we can see if it's something that's feasible. We all have our plates full, but at the same time, like trying to find those connections and trying to figure out, well, we can't do it, but if you can do it, we'll gladly take the money to put it in this fund to help more people, right? So, and simply sometimes it's just like, hey, well, did you know the recreation department has a fund that they help? So, you might hear chatter about, oh, it's the I know businesses have a certain time where they got to write the checks, get that money out, for tax purposes or whatever they need, or because they feel like they're good citizens. But it's finding those companies that are
Yeah,
willing
it's
to
that
do
time
that.
of year right now. So
Yeah, exactly. So it's just connecting with people and seeing who's around, and they may not be necessarily Daly City businesses or groups, but maybe they do business in Daly City and want to help out, right? So, yeah.
Like last question, but is there like a specific season of like a busy time for application?
So the busiest time would probably be right before summer, during the summer, and the reason why is the way just our programming is set up. It's set up on a weekly basis. So where for the most part, all our programming is essentially for a season. So it's a class or a program that lasts a few weeks, if not the whole year. In the summer, because of just giving parents flexibility, everything's weekly. So every week there's signing up for a different camp, a different thing. So it does pick up, and we that has come to mind that someone may use all of their scholarship in January, let's just say. But in the end, if you look at it, if they were going to sign up for the whole year, they're still saving the money that we're giving them. So, and it gives them the opportunity to know that this is going to last you the year. So if you decide to use it all up in the front end, by all means. If you want to try and save it, that's fine too. It's up to you how you want to use the scholarship. Just know you have a year to use it. So, yeah.
Right. That's all. Thank you.
So our next presentation will be with Brian Tsai and Chris Mariano, who oversee the aquatics program area. Come on down.
Hello, my name is Brian. I'm the recreation coordinator for Giamoto Pool, also at War Memorial Community Center, but I'll be focusing on Giamoto Pool today, which is located at Westmore High School. During our summer programs, we had many programs, Aquafit, Lap Swim, Aqua Camp. Aqua Camp is specific to the summer programs. Lifeguard course is also specific to summer, but also specific to spring. We have swim lessons, pool parties, and recreation swim throughout the whole year. But yeah, that's what we offer during the summer. This is a picture of Aqua Camp, currently size of 20, but we are planning on increasing the size due to it being impacted with people trying to get in. Current programs for fall are Aquafit, Lap Swim, Recreation Swim, swim lessons, and pool parties. Aquafit currently is on Monday and Wednesdays from 5 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. Residents are $6 and non-residents are $7.50. It is a instructor-led water aerobics class in the shallow end, so no swimming experience is needed. Currently, it is up to 20 participants, up from 16. And you need to be 16 years and older to participate. Lap swim currently is Monday to Thursday. Oh, just kidding. Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock to 7:30 a.m. My mistake. And then Monday to Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. They are 45-minute increments. Saturday and Sunday, 7 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. We have an individual swim lane. It's one swimmer per lane. Residents $10. Non-resident is $13. A regular swim lane increase from 2 swimmers, it should be 3 swimmers per lane. Residents $6, non-residents is $7.50. You need to be 12 years old and older to participate, and if you're a minor, you need to be accompanied by a parent. Swim lessons currently Monday, Wednesday, 5 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday classes are 5 to 7:30 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Our regular classes are $80 for residents, and non-residents is $100. Basically, from our level 1 guppies all the way to our level 8 stingrays to our adult classes. 1 to 4 ratio is for upper classes, and 1 to 6 ratio is for our lower classes along with our adult classes. Toddler classes are $88 for residents, and non-residents is $110. Ducklings is a 1 to 4 ratio. Basically, it's the age group of 3 to 5, and they need to be standing on a table with an instructor. Sea turtles is 1 to 16 ratio. It requires the parent to be in the water. It's like a mommy and me class. And that's what our swim lessons look like. Recreation swim is Saturday and Sundays, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Residents is $6. Non-residents is $7.50. We can have up to 75 participants in the pool. It's for all ages, but anybody that's under 13 years old must be accompanied by a parent in the pool, and anyone that is in the water has to pay. Pool parties are Saturdays, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. It's up to 50 participants, and if you're interested, you call the main office, 650-991-8001 for reservations and more information. Winter changes and additions. Aquafit class will now only be Saturday and Saturday, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock only. Lessons will be Monday, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, 6 o'clock to 8 p.m. And lap swim will be Monday through Thursday, 8 o'clock to 8:45 p.m. You have any questions?